Welcome to Wolves Network here at Wolves Stadium. 10 weeks of Friday Night Lights have come and gone. We're here on a Thursday night. Cole Pavelio with Brad Lynn alongside you tonight. Brad, tonight we've got the Davenport Wolves and the Fredericksburg Billies tonight. First week of playoffs is by-district round. You know, when you think playoff football, you think cold weather and sometimes rain, and tonight we got both.
Just about perfect, just about perfect. Maybe if the wind would pick up and it would get a little colder, then you could really get that playoff feeling. And since we're up here outside, we get to experience it the whole game. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a great one.
When you think playoff football, you think the great equalizer, you get into weather, and, this is essentially what you think of when you think weather. You think cold and rainy, and the rain's coming down. The Billies about to take the kickoff. The Wolves' playoff run is underway. Back there to receive from the 10. They got 10 yards to start off with, and that's number 12. That's Barrett Fallon looking down the left side. Gets to about the 33 there. The Wolves enter with a record of 7-3, 4-1 co-district champs. Then you got the Fredericksburg Billies 3-7 and 3-2 in district play here tonight.
Both teams seem to feature the pass throughout the year, and the rain might have a little effect on it, but, you know, they practiced all week long, and they're ready. And the weather, don't be surprised if they can't throw it, even in this weather.
And if you want to make that deep playoff run, like I've mentioned, this is what you've got to deal with. This Texas fall, winter weather is the Wolves are underway to the right side. Looking for the pass here to get started, and they complete it to Daniel Sokup. Get to pick up about 4. So a quick start to the passing game for the Wolves.
Pretty quick release by the quarterback. Fredericksburg will have to do a really good job of getting in the quarterback's way and maybe producing a few sacks to be successful.
Hamlin hands it off to 12. That's Barrett Fallon. He's got the big run, breaking it off. He's got the 10. He's got the score for the Wolves early.
Well, as promised, I was going to do it. Here it goes. Oh!
So now the question is, what's the over/under of how many howls we get?
I don't know. I'm gonna pretend sore throat if I have to do too many. But what a great run by number 12. He's been doing that all year.
Big 6-0 start, just under 40 seconds into the game, and big run by Barrett Fallon, and for the extra point, Miles Mendez. He puts it through the uprights. Makes it a 7-0 game here on Wolves Network as the Wolves get started early here on Wolves Network, and we'll take a quick break. There's the man that gets the Wolves started quick and fast. Barrett Fallon gets the Wolves off to his 7-0 start here. And Brad, you were talking about, it looked like Fredericksburg set up there for the pass.
Yeah, you got to pick your poison with Davenport's offense. You got to commit some players to covering all those receivers, and if you do, then you're creating some running lanes, and they found it then.
So Bill Wilder and the Billies now got to go out there and try to get 7 back to not allow the Wolves to get the pack moving quickly. Back the pack here tonight is what the Wolves are trying to do. Start out about 60-ish degrees weather-wise, and we'll see how far that plummets before the end of the night. I don't think we'll get too cold, but tomorrow night I think is when this cold front really starts coming in. The Billies coming out here now. Looks like a RPO to the right side. Looks like the Wolves stop them about 5 yards back from the line of scrimmage. I'd say 3 yards. The pack of the defense, the Wolves something you got to look out for. Allowed 24.5 points a game on average, the Wolves have, and so far a quick stop here.
Doing a great job stopping the run with a three-man front, usually geared to stop the pass, but they've got 4 linebackers ready to play the run too.
Those 4 linebackers having to look out right now, and they're going to the left side, and the pass incomplete for the Billies. That's number 7, Yair Hernandez, a sophomore, the quarterback. As the rain continues to pelt down. Looks like back there, number 12 with Yair. That's Weston Herbert. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side, 2 backs. As the crowd of the Wolves starts to pack it up and get louder and louder, the cheerleaders are out here as well. Looking for a pass here to the right side, and they'll complete it, but short about 3 yards.
Yeah, he's short about 2 or 3, you're right.
So 4th down here. Now you got a question if you go for the punt or are you going to go for it early on.
Looks like they're making a change that indicates punt team. I believe the quarterback does stay into punt, though, so trickery is available.
So we'll see what happens here. Maybe a direct snap there or 2 right there with the punter. Back to receive Emmett Griman, a baseball player as well for these Wolves. That's Weston Herbert in motion.
Oh,
so a high snap.
That's not good.
Snap gets away from Yair Hernandez. He gets it off just in time. Well, it's going to be a short punt. Bounces at the 40, gets to the 45. Only 44 is where they down it at. So good field position starting for the Wolves' second drive of the night.
It's not just throwing and catching that gets affected by that weather. You know, the snappers don't get their name called unless they make a mistake. That's just a difficult assignment in this kind of weather with wind and rain.
And I remember when I was playing football, my coach told me if you want to make it to the NFL and not have to do a lot, you just got to be the long snapper.
And really, really good at it. And really, really good. That's the key.
So back there for the Wolves now. Second drive ready to go. Hand off to Fallon again to the left side, and he's got some room. He's going to run over one Billy and get to about 15 yards. The Wolves are a team that attack quick and fast. They're usually trying to go for the pass, but 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side with the tight end. Back to passes. Hamlin looking to the center, and he gets number 19. That's Kyler Payne, second touchdown.
Wolves definitely came to play on offense and defense. They're doing a great job.
Makes it 13-0 with 9:20-ish on the clock. Now you got Miles Mendez looking for the extra point, looking to make it 14-0. The extra point is up. And it looks like it gets a little deflection, and it's no good, so it remains 13-0. But 2 quick touchdowns for the Wolves here on Wolves Network makes it 13-0. We'll be back after this. About 2.5 minutes in, and the Wolves lead 13-0 after 2 quick touchdowns on 4 offensive plays. First touchdown by Fallon, second one by Payne. Third kickoff already of the game underway. Another muffed kick right there, gets into the end zone, runs it out are the Billies, and they get to about the 9 stumbling.
Things going against the Billy Goats early.
and we'll have to mention the rain after that dropped. Kickoff, and something we're going to have to mention all night long. I mean, we haven't had a lot of rain in this part of Texas lately, and it's kind of showing right now when you can't practice with the wet ball, there's nothing you can do really.
Right. Does make it difficult. It hadn't bothered Davenport yet, though, so
I saw something a little funny a few weeks ago. I think it was USC getting ready, and they were spraying water at the players ready to get ready for
to play a rain game. Well,
yeah. So I mean, maybe something the Billies and the Wolves might have done. Back again here though is Yair Hernandez. That's actually Spees back there as the quarterback. 23. So it's Spees in the backfield and Herbert back there typically. Spees being a senior. 2 to the far side with the tight end on the right side as well. Spees hands it off, looking for a trickery play here, and I think that might have been intercepted by the Wolves. They're saying incomplete pass. 23 can't do on the pass. So almost an interception for the Wolves. Would have been about the 6-yard line where they would have gotten the ball, it looked like there.
Looked like the nose guard, number 41.
Would have been a night for, that would have been Walker Birch. And I mean, talk about a start to your playoffs if he had got that right there. The Wolves hounding him now, and looks like almost sacking the quarterback. That was Gianni Evans-Williams making the break on the near side. And Trenton Evans-Williams on the defense.
Yeah, the snapper for Fredericksburg didn't get a long time to think about that snap or practice it, so we'll see how well this one turns out.
So back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Billies. The Wolves returner about the 44-yard line. Emmett Greiman awaiting the punt. The snap is good this time. Low rolling punt. Gets to
getting a
just
great
about the same time.
Roll. Yeah, still good field position for Davenport.
47-yard line is where the third drive already of the night for the Wolves will start. I mean, it's been a lot of offense already this night for the Wolves, and I mean, just almost 4 minutes in only. Got back there, Fallon, along with Tristan Hamlin. 2 receivers to the left. Looks like in the play call here. DeAnthony Moore and Dante Singletary to the left side. Kyler Payne to the right. Snap to Hamlin, hands it off. Fakes the handoff,
RPO.
and he gets it to Payne right there.
Great quarterback read there. Deep safety came in on the run play and run it. Deep slant, shallow post, whatever you want to call it, wide open for plus 20.
Gets another first down for the Wolves. Same formation for them. Another RPO to the right side. Gets it to Payne again. Trying to shake the defender, but gets pushed out about after. You're going to give him
one of those situations where everything is working. Everything is working. Hand it off, big game.
Sometimes it's just
complete.
Your night.
Yeah, right now they're doing a great job. Weather's not bothering them in the least.
Hamlin gets the snap. Another RPO. Decides to hold it, then throw it on a slant to, that's Barrett Fallon for the second touchdown of the night for him. And the goal Wolves flags go out again. 3 quick touchdowns for the Wolves, makes it 19-0.
Now that's a scary Wolf owl right there. That's scary.
So is that one more scary than yours, or?
I'm pretty sure that's a lot scarier than mine. Really sure.
So Mendez looking to make it 20-0 with the extra point.
Took them 3 plays that time, though. They're really falling off.
We'll have to see how long it takes them next time. The extra point is up and good, makes it 20-0.
Let's give a shout out. Give a shout out to that holder. Let's read his number there. 4.
That's Gabriel Binge.
Yeah, Gabriel. That's not easy.
So makes it 20-0. 7:56 to go in the first quarter, and the Wolves off to a quick start. And I mean, nothing has been able to stop the Wolves offense so far for the Billies. What's the key so far?
Just regular execution. I mean, they knew ahead of time that those things would be open, and then it just kind of strikes a match, and explodes because the success breeds more success, and so the kids are super excited to be in a playoff game, and now their energy, they just get to put that into positive points and positive yards early in the game. It couldn't work out better for Davenport, and then the defense feeds off of that, and they're ready to go out and play, and they're trying to get the ball back and watch their offense. So Fredericksburg's going to have to do something pretty quick, or this is going to get out of hand.
You look at the points allowed for Davenport, about 24.5 a game. And you look at the record for them, 7-3, 4-1 co-district champs. Looking to get the bi-district championship right here this evening. 20-0 kickoff. Again, gets all the way to the end zone and out. Hearing a train horn behind us. I don't know if that's coming from in the stands or if it's a parent maybe just sitting in the car.
Maybe they got an app. Maybe they got an app where they could just punch their phone.
There's an app for everything
There's an app for everything.
So
if somebody told me that, I would believe it, So
the Billies looking to get their offensive started for their third drive of the evening at the 25-yard line. They're lined up on the right hash. So Spees in the offense have to get something going. On the near side, that's Asher Gaiman. 1st and 10 for the Billies. Hands it off up the middle to the right side. Gets about 4.5 on the draw up the middle. Only a handful of true runs so far for the Billies. You talk about a good showing to fans even on a night like tonight. I mean,
yeah, Davenport's really brought it.
The 3-4 defense of the Wolves set to go. The 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 7 gets stopped at the line. Third and 7 here for the Billies of Fredericksburg, trying to get something started. Haven't been able to find that starting point quite yet in the first quarter, but still plenty of time to go. As I can't tell if it's thunder or just the fans stomping their feet looking to get the stop.
Interception.
Interception there by Zaire Livingston, brings it back for a touchdown, getting swarmed by the Wolves.
Well, when you said it couldn't get any worse for Fredericksburg, it just did. Now Davenport scored on defense.
26-0. We're not 6 minutes into the game yet. Zaire Livingston getting it done for the Wolves defense. And Brad, you mentioned once the defense starts going, it's going to light the offense, and they're going to feed off each other. Now, if you're the Billies, you got a tough monster to beat. Mendez back again for the extra point. 4th one of the night. And he makes it 27-0, 6:40 left of the first quarter on Wolves Network. The Wolves lead it 27-0 right here on the Wolves Network.
One of the most common questions kids are asked is, what do you want to be when you grow up? For some, that may be an easy question to answer, but for others, it may seem impossible. That is where our school counselors, academic advisors, and our teachers can help. In the coming weeks, our 8th grade students will begin planning for their high school journey, and our 5th graders will begin planning for middle school. In Kamau ISD, we continue to grow greatness, and one of our major objectives is to empower our students to be prepared to attend college, start a career, or enlist in the military beyond high school graduation. This is known as CCMR, College Career Military Readiness. The Texas Education Agency offers many ways of recognizing students who have met CCMR requirements, from demonstrating college readiness with qualified.
That's not Brad Lynn howling. That's the Davenport fans, and they're howling because it's 27-0 with 6:40 to go in the first quarter. Another kickoff. It goes out of the back of the end zone. Another one.
Yeah, any nervousness that Davenport had for a first playoff game, first home game, playoff game, there's a chance that you can let your emotions get away from you and not play your best game, but that has not been their problem. They came locked in and ready to play, and everything's worked out offensively, defensively. You can't beat what they've done so far. Three touchdowns on offense and then an interception for a touchdown.
Could you ask for a better start at this point if you're a coach?
Well, they missed one extra point, but other than that, no, you can't. It's just one of those magic. You hope for it, and you feel like you've done something to prepare them, but it's a great job by the kids and the players at Davenport so far.
You talk about another team at Davenport that's had a magical start. Their volleyball team, we'll talk about them a little bit more, as a handoff up the middle gets stopped before the line of scrimmage. At Needville, or against Needville, Darren Cuero on Tuesday, the volleyball team swept the Blue Jays 3-0, and kind of did it handily, and they're moving on. We'll have to look at who they were playing tonight, or if they were playing tonight. But
are they ready? Are they already in the regional tournament?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll keep an eye out on them. But the baseball team as well last season did well and lost to Sinton. That Sinton team made a deep playoff run as well, but this baseball team beat Needville as well. 27-0 here, though. On the gridiron, hand up again by the Billies up the middle. Gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. Will come up to 3rd and 11. So each offensive drive so far for the Billies has been stopped with about the same spot, really. They haven't gone past the 50 yet.
Yeah, the film is going to look like deja vu because that hash and that yard line and those unsuccessful plays so far for them. The story will be Davenport's offense, but their defense has really played well.
So the defense looking to get a stop here on 3rd and 11. Blitz coming on the left side. And the incomplete pass by Spees makes it 4th down. I saw Zaire Livingston trying to get that stop there, and a few other Wolves just swarming Spees as he was rolling out to the right side. So 4th and 11. And Griman back again for the punt. And Griman, I'm sure, is getting deja vu as well, walking back to that around the same spot over and over again.
To return this punt.
Multiple low line drive punts so far for the Billies. We'll see what this one is here. Snap is good. The punt is away, end over end. It looks like a good punt. And I think that might be the farthest back that the Wolves have been since the beginning of the game.
Still really good field position.
They'll start at their own 44, 1st and 10.
Wolves offense sprinted on the field as soon as the referee blew the whistle for that punt to be dead. They're ready to go.
I think it's going to be kind of hard stopping the momentum of the Wolves at this point. I mean, they're excited to be going at this point.
It's going to have to be a turnover or at least a 3-and-out for Fredericksburg. We'll see if that can happen.
4-3 formation from the Billies. Hamlin's ready to receive the snap. And the shotgun gets it to Payne to the right side, and the little screen. He's breaking it off. He's down to the 30 on the other side. Someone that we've had us highlight a lot already is Tyler Payne. Multiple receptions for him, and he's been breaking off for big runs afterwards, so big receptions after the catch as well.
Once you get the ball in your hands right now for Davenport, you better get in the end zone. Otherwise, you're not going to be part of the stats, because somebody else is going to grab it and score.
27-0, 4:50 to go in the first quarter. Looking to the left side, the Wolves are trying to go for a pass on the inside shoulder, but it incomplete. Looked like to Fallon. It looked like number 2, Drake Threadgill, was covering him on the inside shoulder, so hard to get to that.
He did a good job on the coverage because the running back coming out of the backfield shouldn't be able to get that deep, but that kid's got a lot of speed.
2nd and 10 now for the Wolves, and one of the best offensive starts for the Billies so far as they've gotten them down to 2nd down and 2nd and 10. Hamlin looking to get set again, looking to the right side. Looks like one Wolf goes tumbling. That was Jack Saberon. Little extracurriculars.
Yeah, a batted ball, sometimes the players don't see it get hit, so they think it's a pass that went that direction, so they try to intercept it, but it's a dead ball as soon as it hits the ground.
3rd and 10 now for the Wolves. Longest 3rd down that they've had.
Maybe Hamlin, the only 3rd down that they've had.
Hamlin with the split backs. 2 receivers to the far side. Payne to the near side, looking for Payne on that right side. And he's going for the over the shoulder, and he gets it, but he loses it. No touchdown. And Payne's trying to make a case for himself for the touchdown. Would have been quite a start for the Wolves. I mean, couldn't have asked for a better little formation there for.
Well, the field position they're in right now, I don't believe they'll punt. Even though it's 4th and 10.
In between position, it looked like the side judge there.
Too far for a field goal and too short for a punt. So here we go. Let's see what they do on 4th and 10.
Side judge Lonnie Cantu was on the call there. We'll get the referee information to you shortly. Hamlin back. Looking to that right side again. He is incomplete, looking for Gabriel Binge.
Good field position now for Fredericksburg. Let's see if they can take advantage of a well-played defensive stand for them.
So talking about the refs, Brian Anderson, the ref, the umpire, Michael Finn, head lineman, Hank Natardis, line judge, Adrian Abeles, back judge Lonnie Reeson, the field judge Pete Garcia, and we already mentioned side judge Lonnie Cantu. Talk about the coaches, J.D. Zimmerhansel, the head coach for the Wolves, is off to a great start here at Davenport, starting a new program, and Bill Wilder of the Billies is trying to keep their season alive at this point. 27-0, under 4.5 in the first quarter to go. Tied into the right side for the Billies. The handoff up the middle. They get about 2. Make it 2nd and 8. That was Aaron Cantu on the carry, the sophomore. All the coaches bringing out their rain gear tonight. Some hand warmers on the Wolves side, I see.
Weather doesn't bother you as much when you're up 27-0.
At what point does it start to bother you?
If
you're the Billies right now.
If you're the Billies, probably already.
2nd and 8 by the Billies. Gets stopped at the line by the pack of Wolves.
It's just a tough thing to be 3-7 and come into a playoff game against a talented team. You're kind of unsure on your bus ride over here. You're not really sure how good this team, Davenport's going to be. You're hoping you can have some momentum of 3 wins in district. But once the score gets like this, you start to doubt it. Then the weather drips weather drips down, and it doesn't make you feel very good. So
3rd and 7 now for the Billies.
What they can do.
3 linemen of the Wolves ready to go with the 8 men behind them. Big front for the Billies right now to the left side with the tight end there. Looked like might have been a false start, but no call. Looking to the right side, incomplete. 4th and 7 now. Looking for Brooks Emmel to the right side. So the Wolves' defense right now almost has been immaculate. Not many yards allowed, and, I mean, that's kind of been the memento right now, the modus operandi, I guess, for the Wolves. Just, it seems like we've talked so much already, just 9 minutes in with what the Wolves are doing so far. Back for the punt again, the Billies. Reed Speeds. That's a good punt there. Gets it to 29. And we're talking about Wolves volleyball a little bit. They'll be playing tomorrow at 5 p.m. against Cal Allen at Blossom in San Antonio. So that's a big game for the Wolves volleyball team against Cal Allen from Corpus.
Everything's working in Davenport's favor right now. On Thursday night game, then you'll have an extra day to prepare for your other and get well and lift some weights and be ready for next week.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. Handoff to the right side, up the middle. Gets maybe about a yard. How important is that extra day in playoffs like you mentioned?
Just for me as a former coach, you know, this late in the year, every kid that's been playing a lot has bumps and bruises. And so if you get an extra day to rest, it just really energizes you and motivates you and lets you play, you know, safer and at your best effort for next week.
2nd and 9 for the Wolves. There it looks like a flag on the play.
Probably the players that have been affected the most by the weather have been the snappers on both teams. Davenport snapper had trouble with an extra point, and Fredericksburg snapper had trouble for a punt, and now he kind of double clutched that one. He just can't get a grip on it like he needs to. Quarterbacks are doing better than those guys.
Thought they might line up right under center, but they will remain in the shotgun here. Hamlin waiting the snap. Snap is good. Looking for a pass up the middle. Just overthrows. That looks like Daniel Sokup the second. Overthrew him by about 1.5 yards. Sokup, I know, was dealing with a injury earlier in the season. He's been back about 5 weeks, and good to see him back playing football. 3rd and 14 now for the Wolves. Longest third down of the night, and I think the longest distance all evening so far. Hamlin looking for Payne again, and he finds Payne, but Payne just loses it. In and out of the arms of Payne, and would have been taken down about the 30 by the Billies, but big play falls apart there for Payne. So the first 4th down for the Wolves now.
First punt of the night for sure, yeah.
So we've seen bad punt on one side. Now we've got to see how the long snapper and the punter for the Wolves is. The Wolves are ready for the punt. The snap
really
is good.
Snap.
That's Miles Mendez on the punt as well, and just fielding it right at the 40. That's Yair Hernandez. So decent punt considering the weather, and a good snap. Now,
not easy to catch that ball up in the different lighting, because when that rain is filtering through those lights, it makes it harder for the return kids.
I think this might be the best field position so far for the Billies of the night, so we'll see what they can do here.
Yeah, they've calmed down the last 2 series. They've had a little success, small amount of success on offense, but now they've had 2 defensive stops, so they may get some confidence.
So it was a quick strikes by the Wolves, and it seems like you mentioned the Billies have calmed down a little bit, tied into the right side, 2 receivers over there as well. The high snap pulled down. A gain of about 3 by Aaron Cantu. They'll actually give him an extra yard, it looks like, make it 4. So 2nd and 6.
Fredericksburg can keep this drive going. We just got 1:20 left in this quarter. They'll get the wind at their back now. See if that changes their demeanor and their outlook on things. It's worked out well for Davenport.
27-0 with around a minute to go in the first quarter, and still a lot of football to play. The game's not anywhere close to being over. Handoff to the left side, up, bounces back up to the middle, gets about, they're going to give him 2 yards. That's Cantu again on the run. 3rd and 4. And the offense of the Wolves are coming out of the meeting on the sideline. I mean, at this point, they're just ready to go back on the field already again with how the defense has been playing. 35 left on the first quarter clock. 3rd and 4 to go. 2 receivers to the right. Hand off to the right side and gets taken down, loses 2 yards. Speeds to Cantu is what the Billies have been doing all night long, and I would be interested to see. I don't think we'll get this punt off before the end of the first quarter. 23?
4-3 for Davenport. Was the one that made that tackle. Did a great job coming off his block on the far side. They probably, in their scheme, when they try to draw that play up, that kid can't get there. Well, he got there. He did a good job.
So at the end of the first quarter, the Wolves are dominating 27-0 right here on Wolves Network. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment.
Thank you, maintenance and custodian staff. We really appreciate you.
You guys are why we are able to function day in and day out, and we are entirely grateful for you. Thank you all.
I'd like to thank the custodians for keeping our home clean and taking care of all of our area, making sure everything's always clean.
Thank you, custodians, for taking the time out of your day to clean up the school's messes.
Thank you, custodians, for keeping our school clean, cleaning up the messes we made at our school, and coming here working hard every day to keep the school beautiful.
Whenever I do have to call and say maybe there's a scary animal or a snake, they always come running, and we really appreciate and love them. Thank you.
Thank you, custodians, for cleaning our school. I appreciate y'all cleaning our school, and y'all do a very good job.
Thank you to our entire maintenance team for always taking go.
The punt by the Billies is off. The snap was good end over end. This is going to be a long punt. Might be down inside the 20. It will be down right at the 5-yard line. So best punt of the night for the Billies and the worst starting position of the night for the Wolves here.
Got to turn around and get that win. We'll see something different now.
So 12 minutes down, 12 to go in the first half, and 27-0 game for the Wolves. We'll see if the Billies turn it around here in the second quarter. And you were mentioning Tate Broadus, who was the one that made the tackle last for the Wolves. That's
the mindset now is, can you stay motivated? You know, you can't, with 27-0 lead, you can't say this game is over. They've got lots of football to play, and against the wind, they got to get it going.
So the Wolves do a handoff up the middle, get about 2, maybe 3. Just trying to stay out of their own end zone right now, trying to avoid the safety. So 2nd and 8 now after the first down, and I think the rain's picking up a little bit right now.
Getting windier, maybe colder.
Can't tell if it's raining heavier, but it sounds like it's raining heavier on the roof over our heads, and just based on the water dripping in front of us. 2nd and 8. In motion is Sokup. Looking for Sokup. Finds Sokup on the right side, trying to break a tackle. Breaks one, and he gets about 3. Makes it 3rd and 5.
Doesn't seem like much to the average football watcher, but for Fredericksburg to stay motivated like they are on defense and all swarming to the ball and doing a good job making plays, that's huge when you're down 27-0, because things could happen.
Is this coaches being motivated or motivating the players, or is this players just having to motivate themselves right now?
Kind of a combination. You know, this late in the year, you trust each other, you love each other basically, and no matter what the score is, you're gonna play hard. You're gonna keep coaching. Nobody gives up.
That was Kyler Payne on the reception. First down for the Wolves. We'll see if the Billies can get the stop on this offensive drive for the Wolves, and it looks like the defense is coming out to play here in the second quarter so far. Just about a yard of gain for the Wolves. 2nd and 9 now. Was a little slow defensively starting for the Billies and offensively as well, but it looks like just a minute and a half, almost 2 into the second. Looks like things are starting to pick up for the Billies right here. In motion again is Sokup to the right side. Hamlin looking over the middle, and he gets it to – he got it to Griman, but he lost the handle, and you don't know if that's the weather, or is it the gloves, or is it the ball. There's a lot of
I just feel like you've seen 3 deep balls where the ball was coming in from a very high angle, and the lights do different things with that kind of rainfall, and it's not easy to catch a long ball like that under that kind of condition.
Well, one thing, if you want to be a good playoff team on this 3rd and 9 for the Wolves, everyone's going to have to deal with some kind of weather at some point in the year, and almost intercepted there by the Billies, but incomplete pass. That's Yair Hernandez on the defensive stop.
That's 3 stops now for Fredericksburg after that disastrous start, so they've come to play also.
What are you telling your team after that start? And, I mean, now they've gotten a few stops back-to-back. What are you telling them on this break right here?
Well, you reach in your pocket and you sprinkle that magic dust on them and tell them to stay motivated, keep playing hard, you know. And, I'm making a joke out of it, but there is some things that the kids are kind of counting on their coaches to tell them this is going to be okay, we can still do this, and I think they believed it. Uh-oh, there's a problem. Punter put his knee down. Fredericksburg's going to get great field position.
Gain field position at the 15 after Mendez puts the knee down. So 1st and 10, but just outside of 1st and goal. First red zone moment for the Billies here. Big spot here. We'll see what the Wolves' defensive side of things can do. Billies are coming out. 1st and 10 on the 15 on the far side, and big moment here for the Wolves, looking to get a stop. Quick 3 and out. Just hold the Billies to a field goal. They're looking up the middle, and they get the connection for Weston Herber. So 27-6 after the fantastic field position after the punt that was kneeled down by the Wolves.
Since we had the quarter change, it's not a drastic win, but it's enough to affect the game. Obviously it has, because all points have been scored down in this end zone. for both
we'll
teams.
see if that continues all night long. I mean, I continues all night long. I mean, I feel like the rain's almost at a horizontal angle at this point.
It's blowing sideways.
27-6 now, 58. Charles Ryan back for the extra point. Looking to make it 27-7. The deficit is sitting at 20 now. Makes it 27-7. 9:51 to go. The Wolves lead it in the second quarter, 27-7. We'll be back in just a moment on Wolves Network.
Veterans Day is this Saturday, November 11th. It is a day of remembrance, as well as a day to honor and recognize the brave men and women who have fought for our freedom. I am proud to lead a school district that takes the time to honor our veterans. Each year, we open our doors to our military community and honor the sacrifices that they have made and continue to make on our behalf. From our elementary campuses to our high schools, we welcome family members who have served in our armed forces to ceremonies that recognize their courage, determination, and strength. Our students get the opportunity to thank these men and women with a personal note of gratitude, choir performances, and by simply waving and shaking their hands. These ceremonies mean a lot to our community. They bind us together and remind us that we are better together.
The Billies have a little lightning under them there after the first touchdown for the Billies, 27-7 now after the touchdown. Kickoff handled by Griman. Actually, that's Eric Singletary looking to the right side, and he gets taken out by the legs, gets to about the 26 though. So about a 20-yard return for Singletary.
And that 12, what number is that?
That is 17.
17. That's 12, wasn't it?
They're actually saying it was
12.
Fallon. I just misread the number there. I thought it was Singletary.
Yeah, they don't need to. If Fredericksburg scores again, they don't need to kick it to that kid anymore. He's really good. He's really good.
I think at halftime they'll be circling him and making sure he doesn't get the ball ever again for this game. With the Wolves back, 1st and 10 at their own 27. One back with Hamlin. Hamlin looks to the right side, gets the connection, gets maybe a yard or two, gets taken down right at the sideline.
That's good perimeter defense there. There's two players to defend that, and it's not easy. You still got to come up quick and make a tackle in open space.
Looks like it was going to be a blowout for that first quarter, but the Billies have answered back here in the second after they switched fields. Going to the right side now. We'll see what they can do here. 2nd and 9 for the Wolves. Handoff, little draw to the right side. Gets about 5. Make it 3rd and 4 for Griman. This offense for the Wolves can do damage in a lot of different ways. It looks like rush here for the Billies. Handoff to the left side, and the Wolves break it off for a big run. Breaking one tackle, trying to break two. This is the 45, the Wolves do. That's Fallon. At this point, we should just put a marker on him and make sure we highlight him all game long.
He's catching passes out of the backfield. He's running it out of the backfield. He's having a great night.
1st and 10 on their own 45. On the Billies 45, Hamlin looking deep, looking for the pass over the middle. That was looking for Dante Singletary. Colton Wolf on the break up there.
That's a textbook play. He's keeping a hand ready to make the tackle and reaches with the far hand and knocks the ball down. Really well played.
2 receivers each side for the Wolves. Looks like 2 might be blitzing for the Billies. Soak up in motion to the right side. Handoff to Fallon, though. Bounces to the outside and gets about 4.5. Fallon, when you hand him the ball, it seems like he's getting at least 4 yards every single time at this point.
He's not afraid to attack the tackler. He's called being his own blocker on that. He's doing a great job.
3rd and 6 for the Wolves. Hamlin looking over the middle, looking for Griman. Might have just slipped on the turf there. Maybe a little turf monster grabbed up at the ankle the way he slipped.
So yeah, they had two blockers out in front. That play might still be going had he not slipped.
4th and 7 now after the short pass. Offense is still out there for the Wolves going into the wind. Billy's got a lot on the line. Soak up in motion, going to the right side, looking to make the pass. He gets it off to, that's Payne. Payne going down the right side, breaking the tackle, getting into the end zone. They're saying he's down at the half-yard line.
Maybe the 5, yeah. Down at the 5.
Must have gone out right at the 5-yard line. I thought he was tiptoeing, but big first and goal here for the Wolves after the big gain by Payne. And just a simple over the middle for Griman and Hamlin.
Great read by the quarterback there. He's got his eyes on that defender. Not really a safety because they're so deep in the red zone, but he's got his eyes on that defender. The kid took his eyes on the running back, and then the receiver's wide open.
33-0 after that touchdown to Griman. Now Mendez looking for his 4th made extra point. And Mendez puts it through the uprights, makes it 34-7 here on the Wolves Network as the Wolves lead in the bi-district championship game here on Wolves Network. Of the Wolves is picked back up, and our producer Bo's calling for Brad to howl on the field on the bounce there. Gets to about the 30 for the Billies.
Okay, if they score again, I'll give you a howl. Kind of seeing if Fredericksburg is able to sustain a long drive. They took advantage of the punter putting his knee down on a difficult snap. Here again, the weather affects that. They probably hadn't had that situation all year where the punter put his knee down.
I mean,
that's something you really got to watch out for, and you got to be careful when you choose a punter. If it's a kind of kid who wants to play baseball and put a knee down, then you can't have him as the punter because the ball's down right there, and Fredericksburg got a score on that.
1st and 10 for the Billies now on their own 30. Going with the win this second quarter. Snap to Spees. Handoff up the middle. Big run.
First down on a first down.
Cantu with that big run and looked like almost a fullback of yesteryear with how he just put his head down and shoulder down and ran through the whole defense there. Not built necessarily like a fullback, but the way he just ran there, he looked like one.
Yeah. Very physical for both teams so far.
Wind's picking up, or maybe that's just the stomping of the feet below us, but it's getting louder here at Wolves Stadium. 34-7 for the Wolves. Billies looking for the RPO, looking over the middle there. And the interception there for the Wolves. That's number 20, Cole Boron. He's going all the way to their 36-yard line. There's a flag on the play, though. It came a little late. We'll see what it is. I didn't see anything, but I'm
a
up
late
here.
Flag. They might have been just having difficult getting it out, wearing extra clothes. It may be blocking the back.
See what the call is. The way the Wolves are walking back a little farther.
Anytime a defender intercepts and changes directions 2 times like that player did, then you have a chance of setting up somebody for a block in the back.
And all but one ref is coming to convene on what the call is, but with how the Wolves are setting up all the way.
Yeah, seems like Davenport knows what the call is too because they're back there on their own 40.
But a great interception there by Cole Boron all the way a 20-yard interception return, essentially.
Yeah,
before the
Fredericksburg
flag.
receiver was open early. It was a really good read by the quarterback. It's just a ball that was thrown in the air too long, put too much air under it, and so the Davenport defenders were able to recover. And I thought it was just going to be a really big hit on the receiver, but he played through that and went ahead and made it into an interception.
We're getting the call here. We'll see what it is. Now they're talking with Coach Zimmer Hansel about where the flag is on the play, and I'm sure they'll go talk to Coach Wilder as well, and they're going all the way back to the 35 with the Wolves.
Interesting placement of the ball. The referee came all the way to the 45 to mark that penalty off, but the flag was thrown on the other 38. So,
and I thought the interception was closer to about the 40 or maybe even the 45-ish range, but they're
right. It looks like they marked it off to where the ball was caught. I didn't see the referee's signal.
It's a long explanation, but first down for the Wolves and 1st and 10. So it sounded like a blindside block for the Wolves and chop block maybe for the Billies.
I heard him say tripping. It looked like the quarterback.
Oh, I thought he said chop block.
I don't think that's a penalty. I think you can trip somebody to tackle them. You can't trip them to block them.
Nonetheless, first down for the Wolves at their own 35 after the interception by Boron. Now Hamlin and the offense getting ready to go again. 34-7 for the Wolves. 6-13 in the first half left to go. Handed off to Fallon. Quick flag coming out, though, after the first down run.
I believe that flag a while ago was the first flag of the game, and now we got the second flag right on the next play.
It always seems like once the flags start flying,
it opened up the can, you know.
The can of worms is opened up.
Worms.
Still first down for the Wolves. I believe they called it holding, so 1st and 20 now.
Very early in the progression of the play, too. The referee had that flag out and thrown.
It was thrown like a laser. I saw it out of the corner of my eye.
First 3 steps of the play, so it must have been bad holding.
You don't want to have any holding, but bad holding. That's real bad holding.
Is bad, yeah.
So 1st and 20 now after the holding. Hamlin getting set. 2 receivers each side. Rolling to the left, just looking for, that looks like number 6, D'Anthony Moore. At first I thought he was just going to throw it away after he got out of the tackle box, but found Moore, or tried to find Moore. Just a little out of the reach of him. So 2nd and 20 now on their own 25, near hash. 2 receivers each side. Looks like Griman's coming in to be tight end here. So 2 one side, 1 the other with the back and the tight end. Hamlin hands it off to Fallon to the right side. Bouncing outside, trying to find the sideline. He gets about 9, make it 3rd and 11. So Fallon again with the run.
Looks like he's going to be stopped for a no gain or maybe a 1-yard gain, and then he just turns the jets on and gets out there for 9 more yards.
And that's something you love to see as a coach. I mean, you think you're going to get a no gain, and then he bounces out to the outside and gets at least 4 or 5 each time, it seems like. Hamlin back in the pocket, looking to the right side for Payne, and he gets Payne for the first down.
Great catch. He's dropped a couple of balls earlier, but he reached up to get that ball. Great job.
1st and 10 for the Wolves, far hash. Their own 44.
Huge recovery on the holding penalty to
46.
make that first down.
About where they would have started without that holding. Now a big run up the middle, gets first down for the Wolves. That's once again Fallon. At this point, if there's a run, we should just assume it's Fallon.
Call his name and then prove it wrong later.
Another 1st and 10 for the Wolves. 4-man front for the Billies. Hands off. Pulls it down. Hamlin's got some room, and he goes down at the slide. Maybe gets to about the 32, 33 with the slide. They're marking him right at the 30.
Not really a zone read, more of a I'm going to throw it. Oh, wait, look at all this green grass and take off running.
And the grass is only green because it's turf right now in Texas.
Real green,
with
yeah.
with how the rain's, though, it's going to be real green tomorrow, too, everywhere.
No mud, though.
Hamlin looks to the right side, finds more. And obviously, like you said, no mud, so you can't blame the mud when he slipped.
Yeah,
but
20 years ago, this would be an ugly football game. Really ugly.
The white jerseys of the Billies would not be white at this point, and the helmets even of the Wolves would be brown.
It would be bad.
So 1st and 10 for the Wolves right at their 20. Hamlin looks to the left side, going for the back shoulder. It's incomplete, trying to get to Singletary, Dante Singletary.
Looks like one of those modern, what they call back shoulder throws, but the corner did a great job recovering and got back in time, got his hands on the ball.
We've seen Hamlin go for the inside shoulder and the back shoulder now, and each time it's been incomplete, the two that I can think of. Play clock just about 20-ish right now. 4.5 minutes around to go in the second quarter. 34-7 for the Wolves. By-district game here. Looking to keep the playoff momentum going. Receiver in motion for the Wolves. Hands it off to, once again, Fallon. And he crawls for about 2 yards of gain is what they'll give him. 3rd and 7 is what they'll say. So it wasn't the mud that slipped him up that time, but these rubber pellets on turf fields, they get just about as slippery as mud did.
Well, yeah.
I wouldn't say as slippery, but they definitely get
play
slippery.
On this stuff.
Handoff to Payne.
I guess with the score 34-7, it seems like Davenport all year has been a really good hurry-up offense. Not just a no-huddle offense, but a quick strike, and as soon as the referee puts the ball down, be ready to go. I think they're trying to get the clock running and get inside and regroup and make sure their kids stay motivated, because 34-7, you can start relaxing, and if you're not careful, bad things can happen. That's right.
4th and 2 for the Wolves. So we'll have to see what Coach Zimmerhanser and Wilder respectively do for their teams. Timeout being called here with 3:36 as the Wolves lead 34-7. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back after this timeout on Wolves Network. There you see it, the rain that we've been talking about all night long, coming down almost horizontally onto the field at this point. And Brad, I mean, we've seen it affect catches, we've seen it affect snaps, and on this 4th and 2, we'll have to see what it does for the Wolves right here. But it's been one of those games that you expect to see when it's weather like this. The pitch to the left side and getting taken down at the 5. I think that was Eric Singletary.
As soon as we talk about the weather, then they run a play that you wouldn't think about designing that for this kind of weather, but that option pitch worked out great for him for a first down.
And that's definitely not something you expect to see in this weather. I mean, you got to make a transfer, you got to pitch it off, and then that's an extra spot where you could drop the ball.
Sure.
So 1st and goal for the Wolves, looking to the left side. That over-the-shoulder throw to Dante Singletary is incomplete, but
well executed except for the catch. I mean, the ball was thrown well. Receiver made a good move to get himself open on that back shoulder throw. He just needs to come down with it.
So just around 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, and the Billies scored in the second quarter, 34-7, though, the Wolves. And it looks like the defense, can't tell which group of the Wolves, but right there on about the 25, 30-yard line is really excited to go. Fallon to the right side, and he's calling his number, looking for the end zone. He gets it. makes it 40-7.
Oh!
They've got Brad howling with how they've been going.
I promised I would do that.
And a truck horn behind us
Truck
as well.
horn behind, the fans going crazy. You talk about the weather, you got to give a shout out to these fans because they're here and they're making noise and they're supporting the team. And right now, I think they've been a big factor. Obviously, Davenport's offense is executing well, but it sure makes it fun when the fans are really into it, and a lot of them here.
The extra point is up and good, make it 41-7. And we'll stick around right here. I mean, we've talked about the weather though, and one thing about it being Thursday night, so often that volleyball players don't get to see the football teams playing. With it being a Thursday night game and tomorrow off for Comal District, the volleyball players are getting to watch the game as well tonight. And
well, the football players will all put their leather jackets on and go to the volleyball game too. There's nothing like being at a game after you just won the night before to cheer on the volleyball team. It's going to be a great night to be a Davenport Wolf.
I mean, it's been a great night to be the Wolf here tonight. 41-7, just under 3 minutes to go, and the crowd for both teams has made the trip out here. And I mean, the fact that there's a crowd like it is tonight, you mentioned that it's kind of amazing to see a brand new school. I mean, just 2 years in, and this is the type of crowd that they're bringing in every night for the Wolves.
Yeah, this is my second game to help broadcast, and you got to give a shout out to just the whole community. It's not easy when there's no real town out here. There's no main street, or there's no businesses around. So the parents and the students and the athletes and the band, they've all made this community what it is right now.
Kickoff by Mendez, just a little high in the air kick. Lands about the 25, and just jumping on it there is Jackson Chinworth. Like Kenworth, but Chinworth. So that was the word that I got for the pronunciation of Jackson. So field position starting right at the 25 for the Billies.
Yeah, I don't think that kick was an accident into the wind. You can make that ball hold up, and it's a free kick. So that means if the ball lands on the ground, or if the Fredericksburg kid muffs it anyway, you can recover it. It's a Davenport ball, so that's an effective weapon.
The Billies looking to get at least one more score here in the first half before halftime. Just under 3 minutes to go. The Billies are ready. The snap is good. Handoff up the middle, gets about stopped at the line, maybe a yard with forward progress by Cantu. But once that ball is snapped, these Wolves are just hounding and swarming like a pack on that ball.
They've done a really great job. They had a short field that they didn't defend well, but that's to be commended by Fredericksburg making a great play when they can't too. But you got to really give credit to the total Davenport defense. They're doing a great job stopping the pass. They're getting pressure on the quarterback, and they're really doing a great job stopping the run.
2nd and 9 for the Billies. Handoff again to Cantu. Gets stopped at the line once again by this pack of Wolves. And I mean, it's just been tough sledding for the Billies so far here tonight, except for the one touchdown.
Well, one of the touchdowns was a direct interception return for a touchdown, and then the other score that Davenport had set up by an interception. So the defense has really contributed to the point total as well.
3rd and 8 for the Billies. Under 2 to go in the second quarter, just before halftime in by-district playoffs. Tonight, the Wolves are having sweet emotions as they lead it 41-7. Looking to call his own number there and just loses the handle there. And I think the Wolves got it. Looked like Spees was calling his own number.
Defense. Another great play by the defense.
I see Zaire Livingston on the sideline just ecstatic with that fumble recovery. And, I mean, that's how the night's been going so far for the Wolves. I mean, just right there. That's what we've seen all night. Livingston and Morrow, I mean, the whole defense, the offense, the whole unit for the Wolves just having a night.
Yeah, the front three and an occasional blitzing linebacker putting pressure on the quarterback and then causing that fumble. That's really big.
Now back in the backfield, that's Mason Falcone. You talk about someone that isn't built necessarily like a big running back, but he runs like one. And, I mean, you see it right there. Gets 5+ yards, first run of the night, second and I think we'll call it 5, but I know the Falcone family, and it's great to see Mason Falcone and doing his thing out here tonight. His sister, Lily, is a power lifter, and she's under 5 feet tall and lifting at the collegiate level now.
Wow.
And I mean, this is a family that
So
produces
he's probably
athletes.
not stronger than his sister yet, huh?
We'll have to see. I mean, he's running like right now, but 2nd and 5 now for the Wolves. Looking to the left, scan to the right, going over the middle, though, for the Wolves, and it looks too easy for him. Another touchdown. Emmett Griman with the reception. Makes it 47-7, under 1 minute in the first half for the Wolves. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
Man, it's just been tough. Fredericksburg sort of had a couple of series, a couple of moments in there where they capitalized on a turnover and turned this into a game, but it's going to be awful quiet in their locker room at halftime.
Extra point is up and good for the Wolves. 48-7 for the Wolves here on Wolves Network. We'll be back right after this. And there you hear the howling. It's going to continue long into the night for the Wolves. 48-7, under a minute to go in the first half. That kickoff fielded right at the 10 by Cantu. He'll look to the left side, trying to make a big run here to end the first half. He gets to about the 32 for the return.
I guess if you look back at it, the first 2 minutes of the half and then the last 2 minutes of the half have been just explosion of points and explosion of big plays for Davenport. I'm sure Fredericksburg would like to edit that part of the film out and say, hey, we didn't play that bad. We haven't played that bad this half. But when you look at the first 2 minutes, they had 3 scores, and now the last 2 minutes of the half, they've had 3 scores, I believe.
There was a flag on the play, didn't quite get the call, but 1st and 10 for the Billies nonetheless as they march it back from about the 32 to all the way to the 9-yard line. So must have been flag way in the back that we missed.
Yes, blocking in the back.
So 1st and 10 and just 40 seconds to go. Will be interesting to see what the Billies try to do here. Go for the 2-minute drill, or will they just take some knees here? And it looks like at first they'll try to go for the 2-minute drill. Spees back there, handing off to Cantu. Cantu, like normal, will gain about 2 or 3 yards on the handoff. And when you look at the running back for these two teams, both have done pretty good, I would say.
I would say, you know, the running game had to step up. Both teams they're spread type offense. They like to get the ball out to the wide receivers, and then you get off the bus or you start warming up and go, this is not going to be a great passing night. Although Davenport has had their moments, have done some really good things throwing the football, but you know that you're going to have to rely on your running game a little more than normal. And like you said, both running backs have answered that and done well.
It looks like the first half will end 48-7. So Brad, just a few quick words before we go to halftime. What have you seen from both teams so far?
Well, lightning strikes, you know, for Davenport, both on offense and defense, and all of those turnovers by the Billies translated into points. Davenport had one little hiccup with the punter putting his knee on the ground, and Fredericksburg capitalized. But other than that, it's just been lights out and great offense, great defense for Davenport. Fredericksburg is going to have to kind of find a way to do something different in the second half.
And what's the halftime talk for both teams right now?
Well, for Davenport, you have to say let's keep the gas on. Let's play hard. You can't let up. When you let up, then your timing's off. You have a chance for injuries. You just have to keep playing, even though it sounds like you're, kind of running up the score. But you have to continue to play, and you might get a chance to put some younger kids in and some backups in. But then you're ready for a playoff run. So you got to get your number one players their best plays too.
48-7, the Wolves leave after the first half. Cole Pavello and Brad Lynn back after halftime here on Wolves Network.
One of the most common questions kids are asked is, what do you want to be when you grow up? For some, that may be an easy question to answer, but for others, it may seem impossible. That is where our school counselors, academic advisors, and our teachers can help. In the coming weeks, our 8th grade students will begin planning for their high school journey, and our 5th graders will begin planning for middle school. In Kamau ISD, we continue to grow greatness, and one of our major objectives is to empower our students to be prepared to attend college, start a career, or enlist in the military beyond high school graduation. This is known as CCMR, College Career Military Readiness. The Texas Education Agency offers many ways of recognizing students who have met CCMR requirements, from demonstrating college readiness with qualified exams, earning industry certifications in various career and technical education programs, to enlisting in our armed forces. From dual credit and AP courses to CTE classes, we continue to offer students a variety of ways to achieve the CCMR goals and to help them easily answer that ultimate question, what do I want to be when I grow up? What we need is you. I want to encourage you as parents to help us. Your partnership in your child's education is vital to their success. No matter what path they choose, they need guidance, support, and reassurance. They need you to ask them questions about their interests, to go with them on their visits with their counselors, and encourage them to use every resource that is available to them. Together, we will grow greatness.
I really appreciate you.
You guys are why we are able to function day in and day out, and we are entirely grateful for you. Thank you all.
I'd like to thank the custodians for keeping our home clean and taking care of all of our area, making sure everything's always clean.
Thank you, custodians, for taking the time out of your day to clean up the school's messes.
Thank you, custodians, for keeping our school clean, cleaning up the messes we made at our school, and coming here working hard every day to keep school beautiful.
Whenever I do have to call and say maybe there's a scary animal or a snake, they always come running, and we really appreciate and love them. Thank you.
Thank you, custodians, for cleaning our school. I appreciate y'all cleaning our school, and y'all do a very good job.
Thank you to our entire maintenance team for always taking care of our school.
You
are
amazing.
Thank you for everything you do and all the hard work you put in to keep our school clean.
Thank you for keeping our hallways and our athletic areas clean.
To all the maintenance and operations and custodial teams, thank you so much for keeping our facilities running all day and everything nice and clean.
Thank you guys for all y'all do. We are so appreciative of what y'all do. And for all the schools, thank y'all so much.
We know that you do so many things behind the scenes to keep us up and running. So on behalf of the administration team, we just want to say
thank you.
Veterans Day is this Saturday, November 11th. It is a day of remembrance, as well as a day to honor and recognize the brave men and women who have fought for our freedom. I am proud to lead a school district that takes the time to honor our veterans. Each year, we open our doors to our military community and honor the sacrifices that they have made and continue to make on our behalf. From our elementary campuses to our high schools, we welcome family members who have served in our armed forces to ceremonies that recognize their courage, determination, and strength. Our students get the opportunity to thank these men and women with a personal note of gratitude, choir performances, and by simply waving and shaking their hands. These ceremonies mean a lot to our community. They bind us together and remind us that we are better together. I want to encourage you to thank a veteran this week and join one of the ceremonies at one of our campuses. I want to share my personal note of gratitude to each of you who have served or is serving in our military. Thank you. One of the most common questions kids are asked is, what do you want to be when you grow up? For some, that may be an easy question to answer, but for others, it may seem impossible. That is where our school counselors, academic advisors, and our teachers can help. In the coming weeks, our 8th grade students will begin planning for their high school journey, and our 5th graders will begin planning for middle school. In Kamau ISD, we continue to grow greatness, and one of our major objectives is to empower our students to be prepared to attend college, start a career, or enlist in the military beyond high school graduation. This is known as CCMR, College Career Military Readiness. The Texas Education Agency offers many ways of recognizing students who have met CCMR requirements, from demonstrating college readiness with qualified exams, earning industry certifications in various career and technical education programs, to enlisting in our armed forces. From dual credit and AP courses to CTE classes, we continue to offer students a variety of ways to achieve the CCMR goals and to help them easily answer that ultimate question, what do I want to be when I grow up? What we need is you. I want to encourage you as parents to help us. Your partnership in your child's education is vital to their success. No matter what path they choose, they need guidance, support, and reassurance. They need you to ask them questions about their interests, to go with them on their visits with their counselors, and encourage them to use every resource that is available to them. Together, we will grow greatness.
Thank you, maintenance and custodian staff. We really appreciate you.
You guys are why we are able to function day in and day out, and we are entirely grateful for you. Thank you all.
I'd like to thank the custodians for keeping our home clean and taking care of all of our area, making sure everything's always clean.
Thank you, custodians, for taking the time out of your day to clean up the school's messes.
Thank you, custodians, for keeping our school clean, cleaning up the messes we made at our school, and coming here working hard every day to keep the school beautiful.
Whenever I do have to call and say maybe there's a scary animal or a snake, they always come running, and we really appreciate and love them. Thank you.
Thank you, custodians, for cleaning our school. I appreciate y'all cleaning our school, and y'all do a very good job.
Thank you to our entire maintenance team for always taking care of our school.
You
are
amazing.
Thank you for everything you do and all the hard work you put in to keep our school clean.
Thank you for keeping our hallways and our athletic areas clean.
To all the maintenance and operations and custodial teams, thank you so much for keeping our facilities running all day and everything nice and clean.
Thank you guys for all y'all do. We are so appreciative of what y'all do. And for all the schools, thank y'all so much.
We know that you do so many things behind the scenes to keep us up and running. So on behalf of the administration team, we just want to say
Thank you.
Thank you.
Veterans Day is this Saturday, November 11th. It is a day of remembrance, as well as a day to honor and recognize the brave men and women who have fought for our freedom. I am proud to lead a school district that takes the time to honor our veterans. Each year, we open our doors to our military community and honor the sacrifices that they have made and continue to make on our behalf. From our elementary campuses to our high schools, we welcome family members who have served in our armed forces to ceremonies that recognize their courage, determination, and strength. Our students get the opportunity to thank these men and women with a personal note of gratitude, choir performances, and by simply waving and shaking their hands. These ceremonies mean a lot to our community. They bind us together and remind us that we are better together. I want to encourage you to thank a veteran this week and join one of the ceremonies at one of our campuses. I want to share my personal note of gratitude to each of you who have served or is serving in our military. Thank you. One of the most common questions kids are asked is, what do you want to be when you grow up? For some, that may be an easy question to answer, but for others, it may seem impossible. That is where our school counselors, academic advisors, and our teachers can help. In the coming weeks, our 8th grade students will begin planning for their high school journey, and our 5th graders will begin planning for middle school. In Kamau ISD, we continue to grow greatness, and one of our major objectives is to empower our students to be prepared to attend college, start a career, or enlist in the military beyond high school graduation. This is known as CCMR, College Career Military Readiness. The Texas Education Agency offers many ways of recognizing students who have met CCMR requirements, from demonstrating college readiness with qualified exams, earning industry certifications in various career and technical education programs, to enlisting in our armed forces. From dual credit and AP courses to CTE classes, we continue to offer students a variety of ways to achieve the CCMR goals and to help them easily answer that ultimate question, what do I want to be when I grow up? What we need is you. I want to encourage you as parents to help us. Your partnership in your child's education is vital to their success. No matter what path they choose, they need guidance, support, and reassurance. They need you to ask them questions about their interests, to go with them on their visits with their counselors, and encourage them to use every resource that is available to them. Together, we will grow greatness.
Thank you, maintenance and custodian staff. We really appreciate you.
You guys are why we are able to function day in and day out, and we are entirely grateful for you. Thank you all.
I'd like to thank the custodians for keeping our home clean and taking care of all of our area, making sure everything's always clean.
Thank you, custodians, for taking the time out of your day to clean up the school's messes.
Thank you, custodians, for keeping our school clean, cleaning up the messes we made at our school, and coming here working hard every day to keep the school beautiful.
Whenever I do have to call and say maybe there's a scary animal or a snake, they always come running, and we really appreciate and love them. Thank you.
Thank you, custodians, for cleaning our school. I appreciate y'all cleaning our school, and y'all do a very good job.
Thank you to our entire maintenance team for always taking care of our school.
You
are
amazing.
Thank you for everything you do and all the hard work you put in to keep our school clean.
Thank you for keeping our hallways and our athletic areas clean.
To all the maintenance and operations and custodials teams, thank you so much for keeping our facilities running all day and everything nice and clean.
Thank you guys for all y'all do. We are so appreciative of what y'all do. And for all the schools, thank y'all so much.
We know that you do so many things behind the scenes to keep us up and running. So on behalf of the administration team, we just want to say
Thank you.
Thank you.
Veterans Day is this Saturday, November 11th. It is a day of remembrance, as well as a day to honor and recognize the brave men and women who have fought for our freedom. I am proud to lead a school district that takes the time to honor our veterans. Each year, we open our doors to our military community and honor the sacrifices that they have made and continue to make on our behalf. From our elementary campuses to our high schools, we welcome family members who have served in our armed forces to ceremonies that recognize their courage, determination, and strength. Our students get the opportunity to thank these men and women with a personal note of gratitude, choir performances, and by simply waving and shaking their hands. These ceremonies mean a lot to our community. They bind us together and remind us that we are better together. I want to encourage you to thank a veteran this week and join one of the ceremonies at one of our campuses. I want to share my personal note of gratitude to each of you who have served or is serving in our military. Thank you.
Cole Pavelio and Brad Lynn back at Wolves Stadium on Wolves Network with you. And Brad, believe it or not, it's still raining.
Not quite as bad as it was, but the wind has picked up and it got a little colder. So it's actually better for football now.
That one's muffed into the end zone. The Billies got to just kneel it down in the end zone for a touchback. And we've seen the weather play interference a little bit already here tonight, and it's just something we've seen all night long.
Well, Davenport did get 3 scores into the win, but those were short fields delivered by their defense and turnovers. For the most part, it's easy to tell that the scoring is going to happen down there with the wind, you know. And what do they say? We're going left to right. The wind is blowing left to right on your TV screen.
And it says it's 62 in Garden Ridge, Texas, but it feels like 58. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's the numbers I'm being given. And so the Billies start with their 1st and 10 of their second half, and a run by Cantu gets taken down, about 8 yards gained. And a nice gain there by Cantu for the Billies. So a quick start, the quickest start for the Billies so far this evening.
48-7. They need to do something fast, but they're still going to have to do it with the running game. They're not just going to have to just abandon everything and just throw it like crazy.
You can't just take your game plan and throw it out the window at the point for the Billies. And I mean,
no, they have to do what's been successful for them all year.
So this whole half to go for the Billies. Another handoff up the middle and a loss of about 3 on the play for the Billies. So quick 3rd and 5 to go for Fredericksburg. And this is how it's been all night so far for the Wolves. They've just been hounding the Billies, and every time the ball is snapped, they're just going exactly like their namesake, like a pack of wolves, straight to the ball.
They are playing together. They are playing well and beating blocks and all getting to the football. Pretty simple defense, but very effective.
Tied into the left for the Billies. In motion, that's Herber. Looking for the pass is Spees, and he gets out of the pocket, looking to call his own number, almost runs into the ump and going down for the slide about the 44 for a 1st down for the Billies. Their first down of the second half. Just calling his own number there, Spees did, and managed to pick up the 1st down, keep momentum going for the Billies, trying to get their 2nd score of the night. 10.5 to go in the 3rd quarter.
That looked like the real zone read to me. It looked like they finally went ahead and let the quarterback read that. Maybe they'll do some more of that.
Split back with Spees. To the right side, high snap. Spees manages to pull it down and rolling to the right side, trying to find someone. Finds number 6, that's Brooks Immel. And I saw in pursuit there for the Wolves, I saw Grant Weiss, and really good pursuit from him. Man,
really good quarterback play there. Come down with that difficult snap and then still complete the pass.
Back-to-back 1st downs for the Billies. We'll see if the momentum of the defense that they had all first half, the Wolves get the Billies stopped here. I think other than the touchdown, this is the furthest that the Billies have been all evening long. And they're going into the win. That was one thing that we talked about in the first half, that when the Billies were going into the win, they had a hard time. And taken down in the backfield there is Cantu. That was a big tackle there by number 43. That's Tate Broadus.
He's had a really good game. He's playing well all over the field.
Loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15 now for the Billies. And all that momentum that the Billies just built up kind of takes a little teeter downhill. You're trying to push that rock up the hill, and you take a little stumble, and now it's rolling back on you. 2 tight ends. Going with the run up the middle for Cantu. Bounces to the outside. He's got a little lane taken out by Evans Williams at about the 42. Gets a good chunk of 13 on the play. And the running game for both teams has been really vital. I mean, Cantu has been doing the workload for the Billies here tonight. And then on the other side, you have Barrett Fallon, and coming in there to end the first half was Mason Falcone as the one's picking up.
Fredericksburg doing a really good job moving the football in the 3rd quarter.
Spees hands it off to Cantu up the middle and looking for the 1st down. They're going to mark him just short. So 4th down upcoming for the Billies. Looks like they're marking him about half a yard to a yard short. And the wind's starting to swirl now as almost a cyclone
Thought you had a hill country weather term I hadn't heard of there, a swirl.
Swirl.
Swirl. Yeah, you mean it blowing really hard is what you're trying to say, yeah.
Big play looking for the Billies here. They're going for the first down, and they're calling the flag on the play. Looking like that Eagles tush push a little bit.
Yeah, but they don't go under center very often, so they might have had a procedure. They weren't quite all still before he snapped the football.
There's that false start, Carl.
You know, when something is as successful as that play is for the Eagles, it seems like everybody ought to just put it on and learn how to run it, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
I know when I played football at Canyon, that was the formation we did a lot, just big wedge straight up the middle, and I know you know a lot about it because of being at Smithson Valley, but
well, it's an off-schedule play for something you don't have to stop very often. It's a difficult thing to do.
So 4th and 6 here for the Billies, trying to keep the momentum going. Spees changing the play, and whistles all around. Looks like a timeout for the Wolves. Maybe not set for what the Billies were looking to play.
Well, you got to give credit. You got to give Fredericksburg some credit here. 4th and long early in the third quarter. They're down by several scores, and their kids know it. But they're going to play hard, and they're going to try to have some fun and make some first downs and go get a touchdown here.
And a little competition I just saw running out was a Fredericksburg trainer trying to race the Davenport trainer to get to water to the referee, and just a little fun thing I saw there. And I mean, everyone's staying motivated for Fredericksburg, from the players to the trainers.
Even the trainer, yeah.
No one wants this season to end yet for the Billies. Making that 2-ish hour drive from the hill country, and we say Garden Ridge is the hill country, but once you start going real north, that's the real hill country.
Right. It's a pretty long, you got to go through traffic now from Fredericksburg to here, so it was a long travel.
4th and 6 after the timeout. Looking like a punt here for the Billies, though. The punt is up and away, end over end. Bounces at the 20 and goes down right at the 20, so a little lucky bounce there for the Wolves as it kind of just bounced back a yard instead of going forward.
That was a good call. You could tell the quarterback was just a little deeper than it normally was, and he's in that no man's land, and I think there's a rule about that to declare yourself a punter so that you're protected when you punt it, but he was probably at the quarterback level.
1st and 10 for the Wolves here with 7.5 to go. That's Hamlin back there. Still actually looked like that's Daniel Sokup handed it off to Fallon, and so that's Sokup in that quarterback now for Hamlin. 21-yard gain for Fallon, whose number we've been calling all night. 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Handoff. Fallon, Sokup loses the handle, and he gets to 27 first, and that was Elijah Quay.
That should be a forward pass. That should be a forward pass.
Seeing what they're calling it here, and
it wasn't pretty, but that should be considered a forward pass.
Almost looked like he was trying to pitch it with.
Right, and since he pitched it forward, that's a pass. It doesn't have to be thrown over your head.
So we'll have to see what the refs say, but I saw 74. That's Jack Saberon kind of come up happy for a second, but then I just saw Luke Lindley shake his head, and so Billy's ball now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line after the fumble, incomplete pass by Sokup. And Billy's, this is a chance to get their momentum going here in the second half with 6:57 to go in the third quarter.
Getting a chance to make it look better.
7-3 Wolves looking to be the by-district champs. And then you got the Billies trying to keep their season alive here in the second half. Cantu back, getting his number called on the pack of Wolves, just taking him down once again, seeing Zahir Livingston and Walker Birch on the tackle. The 3-7 Billies just trying to stay alive, going 4-7, but uphill battle with 41 points down and 18-ish minutes to go in the second half. And you look at the season for the Wolves, last loss coming for them at the game versus Burnett on the 27th of October, 41-34, and then Marble Falls, the victory, 28-7. So this is a team that bounces back quickly for the Wolves. Tied into the right side, 2 receivers that way as well. Spees hands off, pulls it back from Cantu into the backfield though as the Wolves get to him. That's Grant Weiss making the sack with a big loss. 3rd and about a mile. You got to get to Fredericksburg for this first down.
Yeah, after the turnover, the defense just said, don't worry, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it.
And that's what
They've done a great job
all evening long. When one side hasn't been firing, which hasn't been often, the other side's picking them up. Not a lot of misfiring so far on this Wolves offensive or defensive unit. 3rd and 23 is what they're saying to go. 3 receivers to the right. Spees looking to the left, rolling left, flag on the play again, taken down there. That's Zahir.
Probably the
Livingston.
places where holding is called, so we'll see.
Livingston is fired up, and the Wolves are excited, and, I mean, back-to-back sacks. I don't think we saw a sack until this second half. And
I don't think so.
Then you get
if they take the penalty, it'll be difficult. Well, even if they don't take the penalty and they just take the sack, it'll be difficult for Fredericksburg with the wind blowing like it is to even punt it for a first down. So they've created
they've got
4 negative plays in a row.
It's about 27 to go on 4th down. They're saying 28, so Speed's on the punt. And with the wind blowing not as heavy as it has been, almost getting to the punt there, or the Wolves just fielding it straight at the 29-yard line. And it's been all Wolves all evening except for a few stretches but
a few miscues and turnovers, but even with the score 48-7, Davenport has got to keep the momentum going because they're, the playoffs seem like they're really long, but they're really short. You've got to take every chance that you have to get better, and so they got to play hard this second half no matter what the score is.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. Soak up to, that was number 1, Emmett Griman. 2nd and 4 to go, 2nd and 7. And you just look at the future of the playoffs. I mean, it doesn't get any easier for anyone once you get past the first round. And
no,
it's just tough sledding all around.
The second round is full of winners. I mean, I'm not trying to make that sound too simplistic, but everybody's won a playoff game when you play them.
Run there by Fallon, gets the first down. We've been calling his name all night long, and I think that's going to be someone that the Wolves are going to be calling all next round as well. And as long as the Wolves are going, Fallon's going to be someone that they're calling.
Well, you can tell defensive kids not to look for it and stick to your guns and cover the pass, but those safeties and linebackers, they're going to be looking for that kid to carry the football, which makes the passing game that much better.
Big run there by Griman. Gets about 8. Soak up in that quarterback still. Dealt with the MCL injury early on in the season. Back at quarterback now. Played at wide receiver as well. 3:40 to go in the third quarter. Handoff to Fallon again. Once again, Fallon gets the first down, and at this point, if you're saying it's a first down, you essentially know it's going to be Fallon getting that first down. These Wolves, the co-district champions, and gained the first seed based on point differential. Lone Star points is what I understood, and I mean, this is a team that has come out here, put up 48 and a half, and now trying to put up some more. Pass connected from Soak Up to Moore, and we're talking about it doesn't get easier. You're going to face winners, and looking ahead for these two.
It'll be Calhoun or Calhoun Jones or Cal Allen. Is that correct? And they play tomorrow night.
I believe so. And
yeah,
that Cal Allen school from Corpus area, that's someone you always highlight when you might have to face them in playoffs. It's not an easy team to beat. And
no, they're usually well prepared and pretty talented. They have been for a long time.
I believe their former coach is the all-time leading coaching wins record in the state of Texas.
Danaher,
and
yeah.
I think he was pretty high up there in the national. 3rd and 1 here, and someone we're keeping our eye out in the Comal district is obviously Coach Hill at Smithson Valley, and got 300 wins, I believe, just a few weeks ago, and some extracurriculars there on the near side. And I mean, this Comal district is becoming almost a powerhouse of football with football.
Certainly
around the
talented teams, and it's 5A, 4A. It doesn't really matter which district or which division they get in. They play hard and they're involved in the playoffs. 4 teams out of the 5 made the playoffs this year.
SoCup changing the play at the line. In motion there is Moore. Going to the left side is SoCup. Trying to get some room on this 4th down. He gets the first down. He goes all the way to the 23, and the ball comes loose, but after he was down, so first down for SoCup. Only Canyon Lake not making the playoffs for Comal, but you got Piper, Canyon, Smithson Valley, Davenport. I mean, it's kind of amazing to see when you look at it district-wide. 80% of your schools made it to the playoffs. It's 2 new schools as well. I mean,
right. You have to give a little special attention to these brand new schools. They're hitting the ground running. Like you said, it's not just their coaches or their players, but their fans are here in large numbers, and so it's a community built on some success and taking a chance on something brand new. You might say, they're not going to be any good, but buy a ticket and show up and watch a great show.
And I mean, this is what you get when you show up. You see the first round playoff 48-7 game with just about a minute to go in the 3rd quarter, and then you got Friday night volleyball tomorrow for Davenport at Blossom and San Antonio against Cal Allen. And I mean, it's something great to see when you're a member of the community. And I sub here at Davenport every once in a while, and I mean, I see some of these kids when I'm subbing, and it's great to see them succeeding, being young student athletes. I mean, it's not easy anytime. 2nd and 10 for the Wolves. SoCup back, pulls down the snap, hands it off to Falcone, gets to the left side and for about 3. 48-7 still in the 3rd quarter. And we talked about how usually the Wolves is a fast-paced offense, and at the end of that first half, they kind of slowed it down tempo-wise, and they've been doing that here in the second half as well.
I think they're trying to use the clock, which is, a good thing to learn later on in the year, too. It's not always to your advantage to try to go as fast as possible. They're working on that tonight.
SoCup trying to find something, just rolling around everywhere in that backfield, making the pass, and that's an interception for the Billies. Gets taken down.
Probably a ball he shouldn't have thrown. He's trying to make something happen, trying to help his team by getting ready as the backup quarterback, but that might have been a throw that he'd probably take back once he watches it on film.
Was looking for more there, and you see SoCup walking off the sideline with his head hung a little low, but with the rate how things are going, he'll get at least one more offensive drive this game for the Wolves. 48-7, Wolves Stadium in Garden Ridge, Texas, and Cole Pavelio and Brad Lynn with you. When the rain's still coming down and the fans still out here for both teams. Haven't heard that train horn behind us or the wolf howling for the touchdown yet.
Well, they'll have to get a score. The guy's got his finger on the button for that horn, and I'll howl a little bit, I guess, for these Davenport Wolves. Let's see what they do on defense here.
Speeds pulls down the snap, rolling right, trying to make something. Calling his own number, gets about maybe 1 or 2 yards.
He ran pretty far for that 1 yard. He's a sophomore. He's got a full year. Maybe he played the whole year at quarterback. I haven't been completely familiar with Fredericksburg, but a sophomore gaining valuable experience right now. He should probably tuck that ball up and get 5 yards instead of looking for the home run.
2nd and 9 now for the Billies. Waiting for the play call from Coach Wilder. As the 3 front from the Wolves is set, tied into the right. Looking to the right side, Spees connects with Gaiman, and they get a handful of yards. 3rd and.
That wasn't just the hitch screen, a one-man blocking scheme. That was trying to be the tunnel screen, but Davenport did a great job of getting more people out there than they could block. And still playing hard with 1 quarter left.
So at the end of 3, The Wolves are building the pack at 48-7. We head to the fourth quarter on the Wolves Network.
Thank you, maintenance and custodian staff. We really appreciate you.
You guys are why we are able to function day in and day out, and we are entirely grateful for you. Thank you all.
I'd like to thank the custodians for keeping our home clean and taking care of all of our area, making sure everything's always clean.
Thank you, custodians, for taking the time out of your day to clean up the school's messes.
Thank you, custodians, for keeping our school clean, cleaning up the messes we made at our school, and coming here working hard every day to keep the school beautiful.
Whenever I do have to call and say maybe there's a scary animal or a snake, they always come running, and we really appreciate and love them. Thank you.
Thank you, custodians, for cleaning our school. I appreciate y'all cleaning our school, and y'all do a very good job.
Thank you to our entire maintenance team for always taking care of our school.
You
are
amazing.
We're back here on Wolves Network where 36 minutes of game have come and gone, and the third down by the Billies is incomplete, and 12 to go here in Garden Ridge, Texas. And at this point, it looks like the Wolves will be moving on with the bi-district championship. And I mean, almost perfect execution so far from the Wolves tonight. A few miscues.
Well, they were ready, you know, probably yesterday, but they certainly, as soon as the whistle blew and the ball was kicked, they were firing on all cylinders, both offense and defense. They got 3 scores in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, and their defense stopped them 4 times without gaining a first down. So they were ready.
The punt is off, end over end, a little line drive to Griman, and he picks it up about the 25, trying to make something moving left and right all over, and he cuts back to the left, gets to the 30, 35, gets to about the 40. So the Wolves start at the 40-yard line, making something out of nothing after that return right there, and see a few Wolves with the overcoats on and just trying to stay warm at this point. Sokup back out there for the Wolves after the interception. See what the young man can do here. We'll see him in baseball season after football season concludes, and we'll see him for a few more years. I believe one more. Handoff to Falcone, bounces out to the right side, gets about 3, 4 maybe.
It's always an attribute, you know, high praise to your offensive line when the backup running back comes in and still gains yards. That's a talented running back. I'm not taking anything away from him, but it just shows that the lineman can say, hey, we're doing our job too. It's not just the talented running backs.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain, and obviously something that's talked about so often is the game is won in the trenches, and the trenches tonight for the Wolves have really been going their way. They've gotten 2 sacks on the defensive side. Pass complete there to Moore as he's going down the left side. He's trying to break it off for a big one. The 20, the 10, another touchdown for the Wolves. Breaking out the howl, 54-7. Talk about a bounce back drive there for the Wolves after the interception, and now the big touchdown there for the Wolves from Sokup. Now Mendez looking to make it 55-7. That's just the evening it's been for the Wolves, and when you're the Billies, sometimes life comes at you fast.
Sometimes it's just not your night.
The extra point is up, and it is good. Makes it 55-7. 10:45 left in the game here on the Wolves Network. 55-7 for the Wolves. We'll be back after this. The rain is falling, but the spirits are high here at Davenport High School as they lead 55-7 over Fredericksburg. The howling you can hear on the home stands, and the kickoff is fielded about the 26 and taken down quickly at the 30 by the pack of Wolves. And you see Zaire Livingston just ecstatic with how the Wolves have played tonight. That young man's had himself a game, returned that pick 6 for the touchdown. And, I mean, when you look at the Wolves so far tonight, we've talked about, I mean, we can't harp on it enough, has been very few miscues for Davenport tonight. And, I mean, sometimes
some of those are weather related, but they'll learn from those because it's probably not going to be a beautiful sunny day that they're going to play the rest of this playoff season.
Past that point where it's 110, now it's going to drop into the 30s.
Bad weather is something you need to anticipate, not be shocked by.
1st and 10 for the Billies. Spees calls his own number, gets about a yard maybe. And, I mean, when you think playoff football in Texas, this is kind of what you think. You don't think, oh, it's a nice sunny day. It's going to be cold and hard hitting.
Well, one thing you can do is you can have a great defense no matter if it's raining sideways or 5 degrees. Your defense can play well, and Davenport has done that tonight.
And you just attribute that to Coach Zimmer Hansel and the numerous assistant coaches here at Davenport. I mean, you go down the list and every part has executed for the Wolves. I mean, you can't give enough praise to this young team and young school and relatively young coaching staff on how they've executed. And a short gain there for the Billies, about to the 36-yard line. And, I mean, the fan, we've talked about it, great community, and it's just being built here at Davenport.
Sure, and you know this will be the year that the kids will probably get tired of it, and the coaches, they'll be tired of being called the new school. They just want to be that really good school. And they've established themselves by making the playoffs the first 2 years that they were able to.
3rd and 4 here to go for the Billies. Spees hands it off up the middle of the Cantu, whose number's been called all night, gets the first down and a little extra. You just look around at what they've done tonight, and we don't have official stats, but I know there's been multiple big plays broken off by the Wolves and probably well over their season average of what they get on a game, about just under 500 yards per game.
Yeah, you can recall some drop balls by receivers that were wide open early in the second quarter, and that might have been related to the weather, but they'll get those things fixed. They'll see themselves on film.
Big run here by Cantu, gets through to the secondary, and he gets taken down at the 20 by Mikey Scoletti. Almost the second touchdown of the night for the Billies, but that secondary, maybe the linebacker of the Wolves, I mean, not making it easy for the Billies. 1st and 10 at the 20. Second red zone trip for the Billies tonight. Under 8:20 to go now in the 4th quarter here in the bi-district round of the playoffs. Spees is set to go, pulls down the snap, and Cantu's got some room over the middle, and he gets the first down.
Looks like Davenport just about has their whole second group in on defense, and it's a good thing that they're getting to play, and Fredericksburg's having some success, but those young kids, those backups will see themselves on film in a game situation now, and they'll learn from that, and then if somebody gets hurt or somebody's not playing well, then they can step in there later in the playoffs.
And one thing that's so vital in the playoffs is depth. I mean, you can't have a good playoff run if you don't have good backups, and we're seeing what the Wolves have right here now in the 1st and goal. Hand off to Cantu up the middle, gets maybe a yard or two.
The other thing that people forget sometimes is that your preparation time for a playoff game is a little limited because you don't know who you're going to play until the other team wins, and then you have limited film or limited time. You have just one weekend to prepare, get a game plan ready, and then you really have 3 days of practice because you usually let them rest the day before the game. So you really have probably 8 hours total to get ready for a brand new opponent. So some of that you know, when they're playing right now and you say, well, this game's out of hand, you're just playing for fun. No, they're still preparing. They're still getting ready. They're still getting their backups some valuable playing time.
A flag on the play looked like unsportsmanlike on the call. So we'll see how far. It's offsetting foul, so no movement of the ball penalty-wise, but second and goal here for the Billies. Handoff, my speeds to Cantu. They've been calling his number all 9. He called it again. Gets to about the 4. You look at the season 4, Davenport started off with a victory against Victoria West. Went to Tivy, lost 28-10. Then Piper, that was a nail biter, came down to a field goal, 34-31. Then you get to Lockhart, 65-38. Third and goal here for the Billies. Rolling to the left is Spees. Trying to get to the end zone, gets stopped a little short.
It seemed like after that Lockhart game that their offense just sort of exploded, and they started scoring many points every game, and that's when I saw them in a telecast, and they had the ability to go fast, and they just weren't just helter-skelter like the end of the game. They had a plan, and they were really good at getting ready early and having success and keeping the defense on their toes, and that's something that's very hard to prepare for a playoff team. So they were able tonight to kind of keep that a secret and not need to use it, but they've got that in their weapon chest whenever they're ready.
And you look at the first 2 games after Lockhart, 41-0 against Devine. Against Taylor, 59-42. That was the 2 games after. And then you look at the rest of the season, continues to improve for the Wolves. Against Canyon Lake, 70-13. Lampasas, 56-21. Last loss against Burnett, 41-34. So 1 single touchdown the difference. And then Marble Falls, 28-7 for a team that scored 454 points all season. And now you push it up to 510 on the year.
That's a lot of points.
So a high-scoring offense trying to stop the Billies here on 4th and goal, 2 yards to go. And the Billies get their second touchdown, make it 55-13, and some extracurriculars on that left side. And 55-13, though, after the touchdown with 6 minutes to go. And here's some chance of go for it, I believe is what I'm hearing. So the Davenport Wolves want them to try to go for it, but the extra point about to be taken by Ryan. His second extra point of the night is up and good, so Fredericksburg makes it 55-14. The Wolves lead, 6:12 to go here on the Wolves Network.
Veterans Day is this Saturday, November 11th. It is a day of remembrance, as well as a day to honor and recognize the brave men and women who have fought for our freedom. I am proud to lead a school district that takes the time to honor our veterans. Each year, we open our doors to our military community and honor the sacrifices that they have made and continue to make on our behalf. From our elementary campuses to our high schools, we welcome family members who have served in our armed forces to ceremonies that recognize their courage, determination, and strength. Our students get the opportunity to thank these men and women with a personal note of gratitude, choir performances, and by simply waving and shaking their hands. These ceremonies mean a lot to our community. They bind us together and remind us that we are better together. I want to encourage you to thank a veteran this week and join one of the ceremonies at one of our campuses. I want to share.
6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Wolves lead 55-14 here on November 9th, and we just got to give a shout out to all the veterans before this Saturday. I know November 11th, Veterans Day, is coming up on Saturday as the kickoff is taken there by the Wolves and gets to about as they keep moving with Fallon to the 37. I know Mr. Sokup, Daniel Sokup II's father, is a veteran from the Air Force, and so many veterans in this community as well. I was at the 5th grade program at Garden Ridge this morning for my sister, and I mean, it's just great to see all these veterans being honored and continue to be honored year after year.
Well, this is the school district that I've been involved with for the last 30 years, and I know that we're close to a lot of military bases, so the San Antonio area has a lot of military presence, and I don't think that there was a single year that it didn't bring tears to my eyes, because we honored the teachers that were veterans, but we also had much older veterans come to the ceremony that we had out in the stadium. And if you can't be moved by something like that, then there's something wrong with you, because it just brings the community together. You see high school kids at first not really paying attention, not really knowing what's going on, and once they see those older fellows, those older ladies that have served their country, it kind of makes them understand something, and you just can't add that to your education without being seriously moved by it.
2nd and 8 for the Wolves here after the short run. Sokup back there, hands it off to Falcone, bounces to the middle, gets about a chunk of yards, maybe 3 or 4, but nice pickup. Just 5.5 minutes before the Wolves are by-district champions, and something that you can take pride in on this Thursday evening is coming out big, 55-14 right now, but still 5 to go. There's still room for improvement, obviously, for the Wolves, but right now you got to take the victory, or soon-to-be victory, with what you can. And your pass there completed by Sokup to, that's Caden Scott, number 18. First down on the play, gets to the 45.
You know, people say you're kind of rubbing it in or run the score up when you throw the ball, but those receivers, they have to practice the stuff that they do. So it's, you know, that's modern football. You're gonna execute your offense, and you're gonna keep scoring.
You're not scoring to be rude or anything. You're just you're
just playing football.
You come out here to do a job, and right now the Wolves are doing their job. Snap gets to Sokup, fakes the handoff, gets it to number 4. That's Gabriel Benj. We called his name a couple of times. Gets to about the 44-yard line for his 2nd and 1, maybe 2.
Sokup had a couple of series where you could see that he was a little jittery or just a little rusty. Hadn't been playing quarterback much. Now he's settled in and doing a really nice job.
It's not necessarily very easy to go from being injured a few plays into the season, coming back a few weeks ago. Now you're in the playoffs as a backup quarterback. I mean, it's never easy being in the playoffs, and it's even more difficult. They never tell you how hard it is coming back from an injury. Big run here by Sokup, gets up to the middle, gets to about the 24-yard line. I mean, seeing Sokup back out there, 2nd year in a row, he's dealt with this injury, and I mean, props to this young man for getting back out there for a 2nd year in a row. A little slow to get up.
I believe they're putting another quarterback. Oh, we got a receiver out.
Looked like he was having to adjust.
Yeah, that's a difficult time for coaches to make sure all the backups know their role and know the formations and know the plays they're trying to call. Some of those kids haven't been in very often, and now they're getting a chance to play. They need to be ready.
Under 5 on the play clock. They get the snap off. Sokup hands it off. It's about 3. Sokup favoring that knee a little bit. It looks all right. Looks like number 34, Solodum, in as the running back. As the wind picks up. The rain's died down a little bit, but the wind's definitely picking up here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, where the rain left, the wind took over. Makes it harder to throw the football.
It's not exactly snow miser yet, but
no.
Heat miser is definitely gone and left. Split backfield for the Wolves, hands it off to, that's number 34 again, Haley Solodum, breaks it off breaks another one. Gets to the 3rd down and 3 at the 19-yard line. Just about 2 minutes to go before the by-district champs are announced. Wolves lead at 55-14. At this point, you're just killing the play clock as low as you can go with. We saw that last one get down to about 3, sitting at 20 right now. Just now gained the play call and gains to the line. It's the playoff at the 12-second mark. Big run here by the Wolves. Solodum goes into the end zone for his touchdown. makes it 61-14 for the Wolves as the pack is howling. You see Soldem there coming to his friends, Griman greeting him at the sideline, along with the rest of the Wolves. Mendez on for the extra point. They're just chanting, he's a freshman now for Soldem. The extra point is up and good for the Wolves, making it 62-14. The Wolves lead with 1:40 to go here on the Wolves Network.
Thank you, maintenance and custodian staff. We really appreciate you.
You guys are why we are able to function day in and day out, and we are entirely grateful for you. Thank you all.
I'd like to thank the custodians for keeping our home clean and taking care of all of our area, making sure everything's always clean.
Thank you, custodians, for taking the time out of your day to clean up the school's messes.
Thank you, custodians, for keeping our school clean, cleaning up the messes we made at our school, and coming here working hard every day to keep the school beautiful.
Whenever I do have to call and say maybe there's a scary animal or a snake, they always come running, and we really appreciate and love them. Thank you.
Thank you, custodians, for cleaning our school. I appreciate y'all cleaning our school, and y'all do a very good job.
Thank you to our entire maintenance team for always taking care of our school.
You
are
amazing.
Thank you for everything you do.
Under 2 minutes here left in Garden Ridge. The Wolves lead 62-14 in the sideline of the Wolves, ready to pounce into the next round of the playoffs. The kickoff is taken, fielded, goes out of bounds. So the flag on the play, and we'll see what Fredericksburg decides to do. But these Wolves on the sideline, they're about ready to explode with excitement with how they're doing tonight. I mean, they're ready to take the field for this victory here.
Everything worked. Everything worked. They had a few miscues that they're going to have to take care of, and there's always something to watch on film that you can get better, but they've got to be really, really happy with their effort and happy with their preparation, happy with their execution for a really good playoff win.
See some hugs already happening on the sideline, and right now it's just a matter of 2 minutes to go before the Wolves bi-district championship is announced officially. Billies 62-14, the Wolves leading it. Season's not done yet, though, for the Billies as they'll continue to play these last minute 40. Handoff up the middle, that's new running back Jordan DeLuna on the handoff. Gets about 4. It was Aaron Cantu all night, and now it's DeLuna likely in these last 2 minutes, and clicks under 120. Still in there is Spees for the Fredericksburg Billies. Right now, the Wolves just awaiting this last minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, for the coaches, the clock can't go fast enough. We'll make sure they get out of here without an injury or without any bad things happening. So they just want to finish and get ready for the next one.
Under a minute. The snap is taken by Spees, hands it off to DeLuna. And a loud clack gets it to 3rd and 5. And I think we'll have to have one more play. Clocks
maybe
about
not.
second, 2 off from each other. And if you give us about 40 more seconds here, these fans and players are about to explode for Davenport for moving on to the next round. Coach Zimmer Hansel and the rest of the staff trying to get the crowd loud and get the players loud one last time here before the season's. Spees looking deep for one final time. And the connection is off with clock hit 0, but I think 2 might be left on the game. But nonetheless, the game is done, it looks like. And actually, the refs are convening, so I don't think this game's officially done yet. They're calling it. That's the game. The Wolves win 62-14, the bi-district champion, your Davenport Wolves. And we've talked about it all night long. Coach Zimmer Hansel and the rest of the Wolves, almost perfect execution here tonight.
really not too many things that you could start trying to pick at them to act like they didn't prepare or execute. So they'll be a worthy opponent to whoever they face in the next round.
We'll wait to see who they face. We got to wait for the result tomorrow night, Friday night, with Thursday night lights here at Davenport. The by-district champions, the Wolves, they win it 62-14 for Cole Pavilion and Bradlin. I thank you for joining us and the rest of the crew on this dreary night, but it's an ecstatic night for the city of Garden Ridge. The Wolves, your by-district champs, one final time, 62-14. Wolves take it here on Wolves Network.